Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
And also, definitely, it's a good morning, just as I am here and here. And it's a good morning to you all out there, in particular, to King Eve as well, to the entire team this morning. It's a pleasure, it's a delight to be back once again. Morning Spring is the name of the program, coming to you from Western Spring Television, the only station that says it as it is. And no doubt about that, we say it bluntly and as it is. Thanking you indeed for always being here with us. And as I will always say, it promises to just keep getting better, better. And I hope you had a wonderful night rest. Hey, make complicated, kind of like, I don't know. Eve, probably, I hope you're not passing this back to me at this point. Well, good morning to you there.
Good morning. I hope you slept well.
No, I did.
You did?
No, you know.
Okay, it was a short night for me
Very
too.
well.
But of course, you know, we have to be up here to do our job, just to serve you your favorite morning coffee. Welcome on board to Morning Spring. We are delighted to have you here, just like TDS said earlier on. This is where we talk about every social, not every, but the trend in social political issues, what is happening in the country and beyond. We get to speak with critical stakeholders, politicians, policymakers, so that it can help us have a better understanding of what is happening. And you, our esteemed viewers, can be better informed. My name is Evelyn. Ohiolei, welcoming you specially to this great edition of Morning Spring right here on WSTV.
All right, here we go. Let's begin we'll serve you the newspapers as always, and we'll go straight into the conversation of happenings around the state of the nation much later in the morning. But first of all, we'll take a short break. When we return, hey, the newspapers straight away.
Nigeria still has some breathtaking natural areas and national parks. These forests and wild places help maintain healthy ecosystems, clean rivers, rainfall, and even the oxygen we breathe. But if we allow our wildlife to be poached and our forests to be cut illegally, we may lose this forever. So let's do the right thing. Tell your families and friends not to buy illegal bushmeat or illegal timber from our protected forests. It's time to save our wildlife and forests in order to protect our natural heritage. Keep them wild, keep us safe. Nigeria still has some breathtaking natural areas and national parks. These forests and wild places help maintain healthy ecosystems, clean rivers, rainfall, and even the oxygen we breathe. But if we allow our wildlife to be poached and our forests to be cut illegally, we may lose this forever. So let's do the right thing. Tell your families and friends not to buy illegal bushmeat or illegal timber from our protected forests. It's time to save our wildlife and forests in order to protect our natural heritage. Keep them wild, keep us safe.
All right, thank you for being here with us this morning. Let's begin to serve you the stories as we have them making the rounds from the different dailies that are with us for this morning. And quickly from the Punch newspaper, kicking things off from the Punch newspaper for today, FG governors reach 3 months agreement on local government allocation. You have it right there just below that major template there. It says government worried about 1990 era when LGs couldn't pay teachers, workers' salaries. That's created to an official. King Eve, looking at this, I foresaw this and I said it that will the local government be able to do the needful? The hospitals, general hospitals, the teachers, things associated where it has to be the local government to do the payment. 3 months agreement on local government allocation. It hasn't started yet. We're beginning to see traces of this might not work. And I say, weren't they prepared before saying local government should get their autonomy? What do you make of this?
Well, like you used the word foresaw, I feel a lot of Nigerians were kind of skeptical when the local government autonomy thing came up, and some thought it might not work. But I feel as a progressive nation, we can give it a shot. And of course, these things will not begin without some hiccups here and there, but it's our ability to go through it and, you know, come out barring all of the challenges, that is what counts. So it doesn't matter the hiccups or the challenges that might come up at the beginning. I feel as a progressive nation, we should, you know, there are lots of countries operating where their local councils are in charge of their policing, their hospitals and housing.
Absolutely.
So why is it that Nigeria's zone has to be the difference? So if we really want development, I believe that the local government should be made to do something. So it's better now than later. You know, when we keep procrastinating the evil day, then it means that we are not growing at all. So let's just see what it brings. Let's just get to it. That's just it for me.
Honestly, I don't know. This administration, ably led by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, most of the things for me, I'm seeing is that they are always putting the cart before the horse, and that's why we're having these issues. They should, of course, I want to build a building. Of course, I probably should have a land somewhere.
Yeah.
Not that today, we're going to start a building. Where? We'll keep our fingers crossed and see what this looks like concerning the local government autonomy, because teachers shouldn't be owed. Health workers, anybody associated with the local government shouldn't. It's better when it comes as when due.
Yeah.
On the top strip here, just above that major template there, it says 215,267 results withheld for malpractices, says WAEC. Isn't this a call for Allah? Is this not a call for government and for us to sit up? If over almost 220,000 results have been withheld by WAEC for malpractices, I think there was a time I heard a father coming to sit for his son. Was it for JAMB or for one of these exams? How young
does the father look?
I don't understand. A father coming to sit for his son?
Yeah.
Is it this bad?
It just shows that corruption has eaten deep into our system, not just the government structure, but also even at the family front. Just like you mentioned, imagine a father coming to sit for his son's exam. What does this say about the units of the family? So it's not enough for us to continue to call out leaders and say, they are the corrupt ones. These leaders were not imported into the country from another country. They were brought up from here. So it just speaks to the system we run, our culture of corruption. And until we actually try to reinvent ourselves and try to reorientate ourselves away from this culture of corruption that has eaten deep into our system, then I don't think we'll move forward as a country. And of course, we're talking about education. I believe that education is one thing the government should be interested and invested in. It's not just about reading the numbers and saying 2,100 and something people malpractices in WAEC. But I feel that the ministry in charge of education, not only at the federal level, but all across the states of the federation, should be involved in this. This is soiling the nation's name. So I believe education should be paramount, and everyone should, be involved.
Just let's do the needful.
Yeah.
And on the top strip of still the Punch newspaper for today, protest, inflation top as Council of State meets today. Please do the needful, please. Marketers project 600 naira per litre for Dangote petrol. 600 naira per litre. Wow. How much will he eventually now sell to the public. 600 naira per litre. Tinubu unveils 30 hybrid CNG buses. Okay, so ready for a ride? I think I am. I want to see the buses. Please let the one coming to Oshun come quickly.
But of course, it's 30 CNG buses. A lot of people are complaining about the number, the quantity of these buses. Why 30? I mean, we all have, and it's not just about this news that we're hearing about the CNG buses. Is the way those in government are really trying to make it a force out of this, a big deal out of these 30 CNG buses. These are it's just 30. So if you're going to distribute it across the country, I know there are some states that already have the CNG buses running, like Lagos State, but if you want to distribute it across Nigeria, tell me, how do you divide 30 into 36?
Probably Lagos has now, so Lagos is going to be out of it.
So 35.
35, they will know how we will do it. Don't worry. Trust government, they know how they will do it.
So I don't think it's something we all should be shouting. I mean, it's just 30.
It's not yet a hurrah at this point in time, but it's better than never.
Okay.
Yeah, 30 have arrived. Let's see what it looks like. We'll keep our fingers crossed. It would be nice to actually have, I expected that the list that should have come in was 100. Then they will have been able to, even if it's 222 to a state at the most, or 33 to a state at the most for now. But it isn't. But we'll see what it looks like gradually. And well done, government. Please let the others come in quickly. And coming to the bottom strip of the Punch newspaper, still for today, Russian flag. Police move suspects to Abuja, plan sedition charges. Probably they never knew that it was treason for what they did, flying that flag, the Russian flag during the protest. That's about 7 years imprisonment if found guilty.
Well, ignorance is not excusable under the law.
It's not. Seriously.
It's treasonable, and when they are found guilty, they will be convicted. It is what it is.
For me, the funny thing at this point in time is, will they have been able to do that? Will the Nigerian or any other national have been able to do that in Russia, knowing the kind of treatment, punishment you would probably by now, you're somewhere 6 feet down. Mohbad's family opposes late singer's anniversary events. Is there anything to be happy about concerning this young man's demise? All right. But then, last but not the least, revenue-generating agencies fail to remit 4 trillion naira. That's credited to FAC. 4 trillion naira. Did you hear that? Revenue-generating agencies fail. Then who is to blame? Don't they have heads where they should be summoned and asked why you haven't done this? I wonder. These are the headlines I have for you from the pages of the Punch newspaper.
And of course, from the Punch newspaper, we head on to Daily Trust newspaper this Tuesday morning. A big, bold caption on Daily Trust newspaper: floods kill 7 in Jigawa, Kebbi, with riders submerge roads, farmlands, displace hundreds in Bauchi, Yobe. Tinubu commissions CNG buses swears in HOS. That's the head of service. Tinubu commissions CNG buses swears in HOS. And police trailed Sudan crisis mastermind to Labour House, says Inspector General of Police. Police trailed Sudan crisis mastermind to Labour House, Inspector General of Police. How did this people, or were they able to occupy the Labour House? I mean, we need more to hear more from the Inspector General of Police or from the police force itself. Top corner, Daily Trust newspaper this morning: Yakasai, Yadudu caution Tinubu on new constitution, Ohaneze, and the Middle Belt Forum back move. There have been calls for a new constitution, for constitutional amendment. I mean, Chief Mike Azakame said, I think it was on Sunday, that there is need for a new constitution. Also, Kingsley Mogalu is asking the president to go for a constitutional amendment. But then this set of people, Yakasai and Yadudu, are saying, Mr. President, caution. You don't just fall into this demands by people. You have to look through it. But Haneze and the Middle Belt Forum are saying this is the way to go. Mr. President, we need that new constitution like yesterday. All right, to probe 9 billion naira Olympics funding, stakeholders tell Tinubu, of course, there is need for probing, especially with the fact that Nigeria came home with nothing. Nange said yesterday, we went, we saw, and
I just came back home.
We were conquered. I put it that we were conquered. So 9 billion naira, we have to know how that was spent.
No.
And gunmen killed. But I believe that if there is a system that has accountability in place, there is no need for a call to be made for you to come and account for the 90 billion naira given to you, for 9 billion naira given to you for the Olympics. I mean, it's just normal.
And you couldn't even bring back a bronze medal.
It's not even about the medals now. It's about the money spent for this tournament. If I'm saying that there's no need for there to be a call from any quarters saying, oh, there should be a probing of 9 billion naira if we actually have our accounting system intact. I mean, as the money is being disbursed, the system already knows what it's meant for and what it's used for. And when you come back, you come and tender your report and say, this is what we use. So it's not there's no need for any stakeholders or any group to be calling on the ministry to come and account for 9 billion naira. It just says much about the system we run here, that if there is no call, if there are no people to push, then that money would just go like that without any probe or without any investigation.
It's a country where snake begins to swallow money and monkeys begin to come into offices and carry bags of money. Where's the accountability there? It's a slap.
All right, and lastly from Daily Trust newspaper, gunmen killed 12 in Taraba, Zamfara, Niger, Kaduna. Thus, insecurity is still in the northern part of the country, and also I heard the report of soldiers being killed by bandits in Sokoto State. This is sad, and I hope that the security chiefs will see to this. We've been hearing, we'll try to put things under control. We are set to do this. This is a time not to be set to, but to get to work and do the work. That's just it.
That's it.
All right, that'll be all from Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
And moving further, I go straight to the front page of This Day newspaper. This Day newspaper has the big bold caption, the launch of CNG-powered buses. Tinubu inaugurates 30 CNG buses to ease transportation. Says 80% of fuel demand from commercial vehicles costs trillions of naira monthly. And that man, it's game changer for transport sector. NNPC Foundation supports initiative with 10 CNG buses. Who brought 20, who brought 10, or 30 and 10? 40? But we know we have 30 CNG buses thus far. All right, thanking you indeed. And I just hope getting the buses is good. Maintaining the buses is another issue. EU warns Elon Musk following planned Trump's interview on X. That's one man the whole world loves to hear him speak. On the top strip of the same daily there, alleged 5.4 billion naira shares. CBN, FBN Holdings, FBN Holdings suit asks court to dismiss Barbican Capital suit. And you have the rider on inability of plaintiff to provide necessary documents to lawfully substantiate its shareholding in FBN. So much of crisis concerning the FBN over the last couple of months. Yeah, I've been following this. All right. Just below that same daily, that same story, I beg your pardon. Nigeria's oil output rose by 930,000 barrels in July, a major boost to forex inflow. 930,000 barrels. All right. Thanking you indeed for giving us, at least now we know the number. We have a number. We have a figure. All right. Thank you for that. That will be all from This Day newspaper for today.
Let's take up The Guardian. The Guardian newspaper this morning, National Broadband Plan. FG may miss 2025 target as 136 million Nigerians lack internet access. National Broadband Plan. FG may miss 2025 target as 136 million Nigerians lack internet access. And of course, you can see the statistics there of the average internet download speed, average internet upload speed, households without internet access put at 62%, that's 136 million Nigerians, and households below poverty level, 133 million Nigerians. Households without, or with rather, households with a computer, we have less than 20%. And the sources is the NBS, the World Bank, and also we have Okhla here as the sources of this particular figures. Away from that, court throws out application to bar Nigerians from further protests against hunger. I mean, protest is a constitutional right, especially when done peacefully. So I do not know why a suit or probably the government should go to the courts to bar or restrict Nigerians, the citizens of the country, from protesting. I mean, it's just all shades of low. But it is what it is. We move on now. Tinubu rolls out locally made CNG buses to ease transportation. Nigeria-bound vessels pay $620 million war risk insurance premium. Shuaibu resumes as Edo State Deputy Governor. That's another state that is full of drama. You know, the PDP said that they were able to have a stay of execution on that particular judgment because they filed for an appeal on that judgment that reinstated Philip Shuaibu as a deputy governor. But, you know, Philip Shuaibu has gone ahead to resume as the deputy governor of the state. So does this mean that we have two deputy governors? You know, we have Mr. Godwin's, and now we are having Mr. Philip Shuaibu. So what's it going to be? One governor, two deputies. Looking like one man, two wives.
Amazing. Both the drama that has been there, that has refused to go or leave in Edo State, is just it's a call for concern. Because these days we begin to hear most of these deputies are just like figureheads. We really don't have them so active like that. It brings me back to the period at which the late governor of former late governor of Ondo State, while he was even ill, to relinquish power to his deputy then was a thug of war. The man had issues. They were deputy governors in Nigeria today. It's just like they've just been there, just like vice president. Well, I take a cue and I look at someone like Kamala Harris in the United States, the flag bearer for the forthcoming presidential election in the U.S. She was a vice. She's still a vice president, but I see how vibrant she is. There are occasions top class occasions where she goes to. Not go and flag off CNG buses in Kaduna for me. Not students are protesting, go and address them. Is that all about deputies, either the vice president or deputy governors? We should have them doing much more. Yeah, the president or the governors probably can't be there all the time. But back to Edo State, the controversy, it's just, I read an article by Philip Shuaibu, Mr. Philip Shuaibu, the deputy governor of Edo State, that he wouldn't have wanted to run for the office of governor if the governor, His Excellency Godwin Obaseki, was reasonable. I read it totally, but then I felt, hey, this had been something that had been there over the years. They had not really been in tandem with each other. They've had issues that didn't really come to the public sphere. And as it is, I wonder how comfortable Mr. Philip Shuaibu will be being a deputy governor to someone who doesn't want you.
Not only someone that doesn't want you, they are of different parties now. Mr. Philip Shuaibu is of the APC,
APC.
The governor is of the PDP. How do they hope to work together, knowing fully well that election in Edo State is just coming, is just next month?
Yeah, September.
September.
Yeah.
So how is it going to, work to be like? But then there was a time that these two fellows were so close, so tight. I mean, the ticket that brought them in for the second term. So how friendly they were, and the friendship between these two people. In fact, some people say that Philip Shuaibu is one deputy governor that was given, the grace to do things much more than what you mentioned as,
they
deputy governor being figurehead. But when they fell out, a lot of people didn't see this drama. It's going to be this dramatic.
Yeah.
But then this is Nigeria. Drama happens, and we are ready
drama country.
We are ready with our popcorns. That's just it. So far, it's not. It doesn't have to do with lives, killings, and all of that. We're ready with our popcorns. We want to watch.
Oh, seasonal.
All right. Okay, so NYSC invalidates certificate of 101 Unical graduates. And lastly, from the Guardian newspaper this morning, Labour vows to picket states on failure to implement new minimum wage. Didi, we are here again.
Yeah.
And this will be more of what we're going to be hearing in the next few weeks, months, because I'm foreseeing states not paying the 70,000 naira minimum wage, really. There are some states that are yet to even implement the 30,000 naira minimum wage in their states. Zamfara just started paying 30,000 naira minimum wage, and now we expect the state to pay 70,000 naira. It's going to be a tug of war, really. But then Labour is saying they are ready to pick at the states that will fail to implement this new minimum wage. These are all headlines you will find on the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning.
All right, and that will be all from the dailies this morning. And very shortly, we will be going straight to the conversation to discuss the state of the nation. It's quite encompassing. Quite a whole lot isn't right. I think it was sometimes last week we discussed about the sabotage in the oil industry. We looked at quite a whole lot. Just yesterday, 30 CNG buses were commissioned, and King Ebert actually said it right, that how will this be distributed? So much to talk about on the state of the nation. That's when we come back after this short break right here from Western Spring Television. Please stay with us.